The Prime Minister of Estonia is the head of government of the Republic of Estonia. The Prime Minister is nominated by the President after appropriate consultations with the parliamentary factions and confirmed by the Parliament. In case of disagreement, the Parliament can reject the President's nomination and choose their own candidate. The Prime Minister is usually the leader of the largest party in the ruling coalition. The current Prime Minister is Taavi Rõivas of the Reform Party. In his role as appointed by the President and laid forth in the Constitution, the Prime Minister serves as the head of government. He does not head any specific ministry, but is, in accordance with the Constitution, the supervisor of the work of the government. The Prime Minister's significance and role in the government and his relations with other ministries often depend on the position of the party led by the Prime Minister in vis-a-vis the coalition partners, and on how much influence the Prime Minister possesses within his own party. If the Prime Minister has a strong position within his party, and the government is made up solely of representatives of that party, he can enjoy considerable authority in all crucial national questions. However, the final word rests with Riigikogu as the legislative power. History. Estonia was governed by a prime minister during the first 2 years of its independence after the collapse of the Russian Empire. Under Estonia's 1920 constitution, the head of government was called the state elder, who was also head of state. This system was a radically parliamentary system because the state elder could be dismissed by the parliament with a simple majority. Moreover, the state elder was not the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, nor could he ratify laws or dissolve parliament. The dissolution of parliament was only possible through a referendum, under a new constitution passed by plebiscite in 1933. The position of Prime Minister was recreated as head of government in 1934 in a more presidential system. Under this constitution, the President could appoint and dismiss the Prime Minister and Cabinet, veto laws, give decrees and dissolve Parliament. The sitting state elder, Konstantin Pats, appointed himself to the position of Prime Minister and in this position was then able to suspend elections for Elder of State and for the Estonian Parliament. He remained Prime Minister, declaring himself President Regent, until 1938, when elections were held under a new constitution and he was elected President. Prime Ministers of Estonia, 1918 to 1920. The first 2 governments were country councils, the next 5 were appointed by the directly elected Constituent Assembly. The head of government was called the state elder. He was the head of the cabinet and was elected by Parliament as well as depending on it. Thus he was closer to a PM, although he had some responsibilities of a president as well. A specific president did not exist. Presidential functions were shared between the state elder and the Speaker of the Parliament. A government could be, as in 1919, 1920, and sometimes was, put into office by a simple majority vote with even less than an absolute majority, and could be removed in the same way. Governments of 1 to 2 are Riigikogu 3, 6 Riigikogu 7, 10 Riigikogu 11, 13 Riigikogu 14 to 17 Riigikogu. State elder, acting as Prime Minister, President Regent, Prime Minister status, acting Prime Ministers of the government in exile, Lototief, Johannes Sikar, Tunniskint, Alexander Wama, Tunniskint, Heinrich Mark, Anopeno. Prime Minister status. Footnotes. *1 Pats was imprisoned until the 20th of November 1918. For the time he was appointed to the post of Prime Minister until he was released. Jan Poska assumed the duties of Prime Minister of his behalf. Squared. Though appointed, Burke never assumed office. Cubed was acting Prime Minister from 29 to the 30th of July 1920. 4 state elder since December. 5 was acting Prime Minister from the 21st of April 1938 to the 9th of May 1938. 6 appointment declared illegal by the Estonian Electoral College convened on the 20th of April 1944.